Yo, what's up guys, Mitch here, and it's time for an actual person who knows a thing or two about video games to tell you what his opinions are and parade them as facts as I tell you what games in 2020 I'm looking forward to. So go ahead and crack open a cold one. Hell yeah. And we're going to talk about the games I'm excited for 2020. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I like Cyberpunk stuff. CD Projekt Red isn't a dev whose games really interest me. Like, I played The Witcher 2 and I thought it was fine, but, you know, Witcher 3, I'm not really that into medieval fantasy settings. But I do appreciate the care and attention that they put into their games. Their games are obviously high quality stuff, but they just don't interest me at all. I just hope my computer is able to play this, because I am actually interested to see what kind of role-playing is facilitated in this game. Usually whenever a developer like BioWare puts out there, oh, you can do anything, you can go anywhere, I don't believe them for a second, but with Cyberpunk I kinda have the belief that they're telling the truth. Stuff like Deus Ex may have the veneer of an RPG, but I want something that really goes out there with the amount of choices and things you can do in the world. I heard that the city won't be that big, which I'm fine with, so long as there's lots to do, you know, content density. I'm super excited to go to the food bars and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, this concludes the Western games that are on my list. I kind of didn't want to come across as biased or anything like that, so there we go, that's sorted. There's our one Western game that I'm excited for. Yakuza 7, and yeah, it's Yakuza 7 for me. I don't take the bullshit where they take the main title of the Japanese game and use it as a subtitle. At least when Resident Evil did that, they kept the 7 on it. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of this franchise, but have found myself pretty burned out and, dare I say, disappointed with the franchise at the moment. Yakuza 0 and Kiwami were great games together, but Yakuza 6 I had a real problem with. I enjoyed the story as a nice send-off to Kiryu, and there are a lot of unique minigames and sub-stories, as well as having freaking New Japan wrestlers in it. However, the combat system fell really flat for me, or should I say, floppy, and showed just how much the combat system is the glue to this series. And Yakuza Kiwami 2, which just uses 6's combat as well as removing areas from the original, got me so annoyed that I didn't really play it at all. Judgment came out, but I couldn't really get into the game, even though the combat was a little more refined. But now we have a Yakuza turn-based JRPG. What started out as an April Fool's joke has become a reality. I played the demo and I was cautiously pleased with the combat. It's, as I said, a turn-based game, so I have no problems with that, but I am worried about random fights taking up to 3 or 4 minutes to win. That may not seem like much, but imagine when you're high levels in other JRPGs, when random battles just last seconds, so that's what I'm worried about. I'm also a little worried about the enemy variety, but time will tell. I was also not too excited at the Kazuma-Kiri reveal in the game. The guy's done, let him rest. I'd be happy if we never saw a Yakuza game with Kiryu in it again, actually. And I love Kiryu, and I did get really hyped that when he was introduced, the first theme from Yakuza started playing really subtly in the background. But I want the next Yakuza games to have new pro tags that step up to the plate, and I feel like they can't do that when they have the old Dragon of Dojima looming over them. Iceborne! Monster Hunter! Iceborne! This is probably already out by now. Well, I know it's already out by now on consoles, but I got a PC version. More monsters, new weapons, new locations. It's good that after a year's wait, I get to fight against monsters that I actually care about. And that's no disrespect to the new ones they introduced. I like Great Girus and Odogaron, but some of them felt like they were just wishy-washy redesigns of older monsters that weren't in the game and would eventually be added in anyway. I liked Monster Hunter World, and this is just going to be more of what I like. Monster Hunter has been killing it for Capcom lately, and the amount of post-launch support that came out was great. Like, the Final Fantasy and bloody Witcher levels. I'm just hoping that we can get some more outlandish crossovers, like some demons from Bayonetta or some monsters from Dark Souls or something. That'd be cool. Persona 5 Royale. This is a simple one. I like Persona 5, so I'm looking forward to P5R. I don't know what's different in the game. I've been kind of avoiding spoilers so I can feel surprised. Having only ever played one version of 3 and 4, I have nothing to compare it to. But hanging out with some old friends this spring sounds like some fun. One of the biggest problems I had with 5 compared with 3 or 4 is that your teammates didn't feel like a close group of friends. In 3, you're all in the same dorm, so you had no choice but to hang out, and then in 4, most people were friends before you arrived in town. I hope in 5 there are more instances of people hanging out with one another without you there. And maybe you could tag along to increase 2 social links at the same time, make it a bit more easier to manage the schedule. Other than that, I'm just looking forward for more surprises and some more Christmas cake. Yeah! Persona 5 Scramble. Hey, it's Scrabble! I know a lot of people weren't too chuffed when this game got announced, but I don't know why. Why would you want what is considered to be the lesser version of something on a platform you own instead of something new entirely? I was a big fan of Hyrule Warriors and the humongous amount of content it had, and I'm sure this will be a higher quality product than the Musou games that would usually be shit out by a Megaforce. It even has an original story that takes place after 5. And I'm also really excited to get to play as my girl, my queen, Makoto, and punch all over the place. Deadly Premonition 2. Can you believe this really exists? Deadly Premonition is an actual auteur classic. I am again worried. Maybe I should have just named this video Games I'm Worried About, but anyway, I'm worried how they are going to try to catch the lightning in the bottle that was the first game. I don't want Swery to try to do the same things that made the first game such an odd piece just by copying it, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Disaster Report 4. So this game is interesting because it was supposed to come out years ago for the PlayStation 3 but was shelved because of real-life natural disasters that happened, and so it was deemed to be in bad taste to release it. But now it's back, and I'm not sure how this game will play, if it will be more subdued than other games in the series, if it will go full Disaster Day of Crisis. I was so excited for these types of games that I bought the one where it's kaiju destroying the city, which was Japanese only, and it wasn't very good. It was the frame rate that let it down a lot, which I'm like, this game looks like a PS2 game. How is this happening? So that one was awful. So hopefully this one will be less of a disaster. No More Heroes 3. Here we go. I live my life by No More Heroes, and while not totally blown away by Travis Strikes Again, I was so happy to see this game drop last E3. I really want my ideas to be subverted and kicked to the curb with this game. I want to feel like shit by the end of it, but with that distinct Suda flair. Suda games have become this meme of being grindhouse-style games when that wasn't the case until people misunderstood No More Heroes. I have hopes that Suda can clear the air and vent out the frustration I feel he's had with the other games Grasshopper manufacturer has been known for. I mean, I guess that's what Travis Strikes Again was, really, with all the trailers that happened before the game. What would be actually sick is if Travis kills all the aliens before the game even starts. Really, really easy, in like a dream or something, and then the main game is actually tracking down and killing all the pro tags of previous Grasshopper games.
2020 release? Good luck!
Streets of Rage 4. Something simple finally, just a cool looking beat 'em up. I really like Streets of Rage 2, so I'm excited to see what Sega can do with this. Sonic Mania was a huge success, so hopefully this will be too. I know that some people aren't too keen on the art style, and I get that, but I am pleased to see the same characters from 2 decades ago reimagined as older people. I just really want a nice old school beat 'em up. Stuff like River City Girls is good, but that has like an RPG and a story tacked on. I just want to hit start, skip the intro cutscene, and then get right down to playing. Resident Evil 3. Okay, so, of all the games on this list, Resident Evil 3 has me the most worried. Resident Evil 3 is my favourite of all the games. I know it inside and out, and so I'm really scared of what could change and if it would be for the better or not. I enjoyed playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and from what I've seen for 3 Remake, it seems like it's Resident Evil 3 expansion for that game. A lot of the story is different right off the bat with people running at the start of the game. When playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, I was concerned that if they did 3, how lesser of a game it would be, because a lot of the features and mechanics that were introduced in 3 had been put into 2 Make. Things like the quick turn, crafting ammo, and having an enemy follow you around the environment, to name a few. Hopefully there's still enough new to help it stand on its own. And not that Project Resistance, because that looks jank as fuck. I hope they reduce the amount of swearing. That's a bit hypocritical. Because everyone in Remake 2 had a really dirty mouth, which I didn't think fit Resident Evil. I hope they make a new UI, because this bare minimum white status screen with a blurred background I think looks really bad. Resident Evil's status and inventory screens look like works of art, and this is really boring. My hopes for RE3 is that they expand on the branching path system the original RE3 was famous for, so that multiple playthroughs are more distinct. I would like more bosses, as RE3 just had Nemesis and the underground Tremor Worm that you fight twice. Finally, I would like a more detailed Raccoon City. I don't want something on the lines of GTA, but having a high content density area with locations to explore, items to find, and maybe some environmental storytelling to flesh out the events that happened in Raccoon City during the outbreak would be nice. I enjoyed the ghost survivors in RE2, so having distinct areas that aren't a part of the main story path would be a good use of resources. And also, if there's like a Regina costume, like there was in the original RE3, I think we can safely say that Dino Crisis Remake is confirmed. So, that was my little hot takes for games that I'm excited for, and therefore, because I'm so smart, you should be excited for these games as well. I know I left a lot of stuff out, but that's mainly because they either don't have an official release date, so there's no point getting excited for them, or because I think they are bad, like Ghost of Tsushima, which looks boring. Anyway, I hope this list gave you something to think about. Maybe these games that weren't on your radar are on them now, and I hope that you... I hope you're okay. Bye.